Hey guys, welcome. This is Mrs. K Riggs back again. Now we're making a wig. So the first thing you're gonna need is a styrofoam head, and mine is a little altered because head is a little big. But you're also gonna need a dome cap. I got that from a beauty supply store. I'm gonna go ahead and place that on my head, and then you need a closure, bundles, scissors, and thread. Also a flat iron, like a really good flat iron, because your hair can't be popping if you don't got the heat, honey. So this is me just showing you guys the hair and all the supplies that you need. I already pre-threaded my needles. Okay, so about this closure, y'all, I do not believe in throwing away hair, so I will keep hair until the wheels fall off of it, if you understand what I'm saying. I do not like it. So if you can notice, this closure looks terrible. So what I did was cut off the front of it and just use the rest. Hey, now we got a new closure. So I'm going to go ahead and place the closure where I want it to sit. I'm basically using this as a middle part, but you can always switch the side up on these wigs. So but that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch on this closure, and what you do is you go around the perimeter of the closure. Make sure that usually when I put on the closure, like on a client, I will go back and forth. But since this is a dome cap, you don't have to go back and forth. You just make sure that you're stitching tight and close. Like it has to be super close so that your closure doesn't look like ruffled or like has little bends in it or whatever. But what I mean by go back and forth is like stitching on one side of the closure and then going on the other side of the closure and stitching. If you notice, I'm also going like under and over. I really don't know why I did that. Sometimes I feel like a certain way goes faster. And if you notice, if you can look, these stitches are like really close to each other. And I like it that way so that I make sure that the closure lays super flat. But once I get to the end, I wrap the thread around the needle just like that, and then I pull it and cut it off. Usually I will also knot it, but we don't got time for all that. So now I'm switching to the other side, and I'm gonna go ahead and y'all, I got this bonnet on. Please don't judge me. It's okay, because my wig is about to give me life. Y'all just don't know. So I'm going to the other side, and I'm going to go ahead and start stitching it down. And I like to go right to the edge and stitch this bad boy down. And just keep going and going and going. And I'm going really close. I feel like this side is actually better angle for you guys to see. And I just reached to get a hair tie because this hair was all in the way. Girl, this bonnet and my little glasses, y'all just don't understand. I told y'all. If y'all watched my last video, y'all know I go from busted to baddie real quick. But anyway, so I'm trying to adjust to make sure that y'all can see everything. And I had this, y'all don't even want to know. But anyway, so you just stitch this other side and you just keep stitching until you get to the end. If you notice, I did not make a knot or anything. I just kept taking that same needle and thread and just stitched the back part of the closure, just so, I don't know, I just like to keep going. Now everything's all flat, and we're good. So just keep stitching that on down. And this one doesn't have to be as close, but it still needs to be close because you don't want those wrinkles and crinks all in your closure and look like you got some little waves going on. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. And I'm going to start with my bundles. Yes, so I'm going to start at the bottom of my dome cap. Do not stitch where the elastic band, there's like a thick band down there. Do not stitch on that, guys, because that is not going to give you any type of stretch. But yeah, so I'm just basically starting off sewing this down, and I'm going to go to like literally the bottom, the nape of the neck and just stitch this on and just keep going and going and going. I'm going to go ahead and show y'all my because I don't cut my tracks either. I just flip them. You waste money when you cut your tracks up, guys. So if you go into a hairstylist who are cutting your tracks, you need to come to me. You are not supposed to be cutting no tracks, honey. But so I'm just gonna go ahead and flip this track over. It's really, really easy, guys. But yeah, so just flip and keep going. Flip and keep going. This is a little time consuming, but I mean, it's worth it to have your wigs because it'll help your hair grow, and it's a protective style. People are always like, oh, you always have your hair up. Yes, honey. Like, I want my hair to grow and be nice and full and healthy. So I protect my hair and I make my wigs. Hello. But yeah, so basically you just keep stitching up until you get to the closure. Stitch, stitch, stitch. I think I have about maybe 4 bundles. It might be a little less than 4, maybe 3.5 bundles that I'm putting onto my onto this wig. Like I said, this is some old hair that I had, and I just colored it and just making it do what it do. So once I start getting toward the edge, I make sure that I go really close. Like, I don't want it to look like it's a wig, and I just flip, wham bam, flip it over, keep going. And I'm telling y'all, you will love doing this because it saves you having to wake up to do your hair. Just slide your little wig on, honey. But yeah, so keep going up and up and up and up and up till you get to the top of where the closure is. So I'm just gonna let y'all continue to watch me stitch this wig up, and yeah. So if y'all notice, I have been going with 2 tracks. So I was doubling up my tracks, but now I've singled to 1 because I don't like the top of my head to look like a wig. I don't like it to be just sitting up there. So I go down to just using 1 track, and I just layer it like that because, like, who wants their wig to just look like you have a helmet head on? Nobody likes that mess. Well, I don't. So I go in and start using 1 track at a time, or basically splitting the double tracks and just using 1 track and just going all the way around until I get to the top. Y'all, this hair is so many different colors and shades of like bleached hair because I bleached it, and I just really love it. Like, even the next bundle of hair is probably going to be like a dark, dirty blonde, maybe even, I don't know, it's just a lot of different colors of blonde in here, and I love it. I freaking love it. But so I'm just gonna keep on stitching this up until I get toward the top of my closure, and yeah. And I have not cut any of my wefts. Like, why you need to cut your bundles, baby? No. So I'm just stitching this up, y'all. Stitching it up. This hair looks so rough. I should have conditioned it. Oh well, it's okay. It's gonna be real nice and flowy once I put these curls in it. So yeah, your girl is getting to the top. Y'all see how small my closure looks because I had to cut off all that damage. Okay, look, y'all see how this color is? I just love it. It's just, I feel like it has so many different dimensions to it, and it just looks great with all of these different shades of bleachy blonde hair. So yes, honey, just stitch your life away. I'm about to start getting closer toward the top. And also, I am not going as close as I was like when I was putting the closure on with the stitches. It's still pretty close, but it's not as close. So it kind of like helps you speed up the process on everything. And when I go toward the front, I always like to lay my tracks like vertical with the way that I want my hair to fall. So if I want my hair to fall toward my face, I lay it toward my face and I stitch it down. So that's what you see me doing when I'm turning and laying these tracks down. some people are like, man, your bangs really be popping. That's because it's how you lay these tracks, honey. Like, what are you doing? Come see me. Come get a seat in my chair. But anyway, so I'm just basically stitching up. This is actually my last little bundle or piece of hair that I'm stitching up. And y'all gonna see a little transformation real quick with how this dome cap was looking real naked. So once I get toward the top, I actually stitch this last track to the closure. It makes it basically fall into the hair so effortlessly. Like, okay, I lied, this isn't the part. But I make sure to stitch the hair with the closure. Some people like to leave gaps in between their closure and that other track. Like, you see how there's a gap there? People like to leave that gap. I don't understand why. If there's a track there, it just makes it like flow into the hair so perfectly. And especially because there's so many different blondes and so many different colors I have going on, it needs to flow perfectly. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just trying to make sure that you guys can really see, but I'm stitching this one down onto the closure. Like, I'm making sure that they are like in sync in one. So that's basically what's happening. I'm finishing up, just stitching down this last little part. And guess what? Guess who didn't cut no tracks? I had to cut 0 tracks at all. Like, and I'm finished like perfect. The end of this track is ending right where my closure ends, which is awesome. So I just double tied that and made into a knot, and now it's time to take down this closure. What I did was go ahead and take my wig off my dome cap, off my wig head, and then I'm cutting off the part under where the closure is. So I'm just cutting it off, and then I'm gonna lay down my part. Like, this is the technique I freaking love. I've learned to do it, but you just if you want your closure to lay down flat, you use a flat iron. Some people like to have theirs kind of up. I don't like it. I like it to look flat and look like it's coming out of my scalp. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and throw some curls in here and make her become awesome. So it's people are like, oh man, using a flat iron. Yes, honey, you can use a flat iron, or you can use a wand, a curler, but it's just in a flick of the wrist. So I'm actually using my flat iron, and I am throwing some curls in here just to kind of like make it come together, and I freaking love it. This flat iron is actually Babyliss Pro titanium flat iron I got off of Amazon. Y'all, it is freaking awesome. It just glides through this hair. Y'all know this hair looks real rough because all this freaking bleach, but once I put these curls in it, oh baby, it's booming. So yeah, I love it. So that's basically it, guys. Like, throwing these curls in here, flick of the wrist. Y'all see that? Flick. And I'm basically done, y'all. This wig is so beautiful. Look at all these different shades. Like, oh my gosh, I just love it. Yes, curls is popping. So just trying to make sure that I love the flow of this. So I always I do my curls and then I just go in and add some more just at the top, toward the top. But I'm basically done, y'all. This is her, Blondie. Yes, honey, she's done. So here's me with the wig on. Yes, baby, curls is popping. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Bye.